Let's chat.
Welcome back, everyone. In community news today, we are learning more about holiday food safety, why it's so important. Did you know that 1 in every 6 people gets diagnosed with a foodborne illness? And joining us more to talk to us more about this is June Puett. She is an extension agent with the University of Tennessee. Hi, June.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about foodborne illness and how it happens many times during the holiday season.
It does, and the number one reason that we get sick from food is hand washing. And Kay, if this pandemic has taught us one thing, it's the importance of washing our hands for 20 seconds in warm soapy water. Before you handle meat and poultry, after you handle meat and poultry, and the packaging. Because if you're handling this and then you go to handle a utensil, a cutting board, a cooking pot, whatever, you're cross-contaminating, and that's the number one way we get sick with foodborne illness.
Absolutely. And we talked a little bit about washing the turkey. Growing up, my mom always did that. Put it in the sink, wash the turkey off, and then put it in the pan and dressed it. You recommend that many do not do this.
Yeah, it's USDA, and they've actually been able to study. It's like where sneezes go now, you know, that 6-foot distancing. The same thing true if you're trying to bathe your turkey. So wash your hands, don't wash the turkey, because that spreads the bacteria all over your kitchen. I don't care how clean a housekeeper you are, you can't get all the bacteria cleaned up. And cooking kills that bacteria.
That's a good thing. Good advice there. Now, sometimes we don't allow enough time for the turkey to thaw out. What do you recommend? If you have a frozen turkey, how many days beforehand should you put it in the refrigerator? And I know a lot of people, they'll put it in their sink with water. What do you think about that?
Well, it's best to thaw it slowly in the refrigerator, and it's going to take 24 hours for 5 pounds. So, you know, a 20-pound turkey could take 5 days to thaw. Very easily, and it's a good thing to put it on a tray or a cookie sheet or something while it's thawing, so those juices don't drop to your other foods. You can of course put it in the sink with cold water, but that ties up your sink. So if you've got a big nice cooking pot, this is a water bath canner, you could put the bird in there and change out the water every 30 minutes with ice, regardless of which method. And Kay, I've actually had to do last minute thawing in the microwave before, followed the manufacturer's instructions, and it turned out nice and juicy, and nobody ever knew.
Wow, that's some good advice there, June. Thank you so much. How important is it to cook your turkey thoroughly?
Well, the only way that we can correctly measure it is with a food thermometer, and this may be a good year to upgrade and make a nice gift for somebody. Most of us have these traditional probes that we just insert in, but they have LED models and a really cool model now that has a probe attached to a wire, and you put the probe in the bird in the oven, and the measuring device sits outside the oven, and it will tell you when it reaches 165, which is that magic number. Once you get it out, you still need to measure it in 3 places, Kate, because it's so big, it's not going to be cooked at 165 all over the place. So, of course, in the thickest part of the breast, and you can see I've marked here, and then in the innermost part of the thigh and the wing. So if you try to take 2 or 3 measurements to make sure it's cooked thoroughly. 165 is that internal magic temperature. That means all the bacteria is cooked. You can cook it to higher than that, longer than that, but that's when it starts to dry out.
Quickly, June, tell us, a lot of folks eat the turkey many days after Thanksgiving. What is the cutoff point to saying that's enough turkey?
Well, you need to get it in the refrigerator within 2 hours at room temperature, and then debone it, and it can last 3 to 4 days in the refrigerator. Bacteria starts to grow then. The freezer is the best place for 2 to 6 months of good old leftovers.
All right. Thank you, June Puett. She is an extension agent with the University of Tennessee. June, if folks would like some more information, where do they find you?
They can go to hamilton.tennessee.edu and look at our food safety section on our webpage.
Some great advice as we approach the holiday season. Again, June, thank you for joining us. We have much more ahead coming up right after this short break.